Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel with Whissel Realty, joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. Before the break, we were talking with Mr. David Troisi, audiovideosandiego.com. If you are looking for any audio video equipment this Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, of that nonsense, call David. Don't wait in the crazy long lines. Don't get your butt kicked over a stupid TV or kick somebody's butt over a TV. It's not worth it.
Well, let's ask an important question. Is Dave open on Friday?
Yes, I am.
All right, wow.
Better. You don't have a choice when you're in retail.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
You work on
Kyle,
Black
you're
Friday.
off Friday, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I'll be shopping.
Exactly.
I am that guy that'll elbow you in the mouth.
You're going to keep the economy going, right?
Yeah, I'll elbow you in the mouth for that deal. Do whatever it takes. I love Black Friday, and I'm kind of excited this year because a lot of the stores have now gone back on the whole being open on Thanksgiving Day, which kind of ruined Black Friday because now the stores were already open. Like, I like that part of lining up and then the doors open at like 4 or 5 and then you run in and trample people to get what you want. Like, I like that part. And that kind of went away.
Well, you can use your size and height to kind of see the deals and, and square guys out with your hips. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Box them out. I played enough basketball. I'll box somebody out.
I could see Kyle with like little earmuffs and a thermos with some cocoa in it, standing in line with his,
it's going to be freezing, too.
Kyle would never stand in line. He would pay somebody to stand in line, and then he would show up 5 minutes before, pay the guy, and then he would rush in. I know exactly how Kyle rolls.
He would.
What do you take me for?
Yeah, I know.
Stiff arm.
I know. Kyle has a driver outside right now. I know how Kyle rolls.
No, you're actually driving me home, just so you know.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. So also in studio, Lawrence Mudgett. So you have advice. Give me some good advice. You got 2 9-month-old little girls at home. Give me some advice, being that I've got one on the way. David's got one on the way. Don't know yet if it's a boy or girl.
I have one for about 20 years I've been saving up here. I'm not sure if it's a boy or girl, but it's a 35-pounder. I got to lose as much weight over there as Dave has.
One of the few men that has a beer belly without drinking beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we could make a little bet because I got to lose at least another 30.
I'm down. Let's do it.
We
need motivation.
We can do a little challenge.
After you lose the 50-yard dash, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
That works.
I think the best advice that I could give you, it was something a friend said to me his son is now about 2. Don't expect anything. You'll have family, in-laws, friends, people who want to help. No one's going to understand exactly what it is that you're going through, especially those first 6 weeks. So don't expect it. And if it comes and it's helpful, great. Go with it. Other things I think that are big differences now having kids is you don't really get to rest and recover. If you're a hardworking guy, you're burning the candle on both ends. Tomorrow maybe I'll catch a nap or can take it kind of easy. There's no more easy days. And get your minivan now.
Oh, love it. Yeah, you were looking to buy
He will get the naps. He will get the naps for the first year. Cherish them. When they stop taking naps with you, it's the worst thing ever. I loved coming home, and my son would be like, "Oh, Daddy, come crawl up on me," and I'd pass out with him in my arms. It was the best thing ever, even if it was a 15-minute nap.
Well, I think the biggest thing for you is, you love doing what you do in real estate. You love helping and serve your clients, serve your agents. You're a server, Kyle. That's what you do, and you're going to love to serve your daughter. And the thing I think you'll notice is you're going to want to stay home more. So you're going to be, instead of rolling the office at 7 like you sometimes do it, maybe 8:39. And instead of getting home at 7 like you do, it's probably going to be 3 or 4, because you do work so much from your phone, and you'll be able to, hey, she's sleeping. Now I can text and call and take care of the same stuff I was taking care of from my office line. I think that'll be the big difference that you're going to know. You're going to want to spend much, much, much more time at home because that's where your beautiful young daughter is going to be most of her first few years.
It's really true. And your wife will need help. I don't know if you're planning to stay home or whatever your plans are, but I'm like you in business, and I have that same flexibility, and I wouldn't trade the hours that I spend home with my kids this first year for anything. It's well worth it.
I love it. So you're with Safer Law, so you give me the advice on the baby. So now let's get into some advice when it comes to the legal aspects of things.
Parenting and legal advice.
Yeah, they just tie hand in hand, right?
Right. So
you're with Safer Law. I know that you do bankruptcy stuff, but what's really been the core of your business has been, tenant-landlord issues. So I'm going to tell you about a situation we're having on one of our listings. This kind of falls right into it.
Lay it on me.
So we helped a client, an investor, purchase a property. Actually, somebody who's been here on the show before. Helped them purchase a property. They just finished rehabbing the property, put the home back on the market. and some homeless person just keeps breaking into the house and calling it home. So how do situations like that get handled when somebody's clearly breaking in, but they are sleeping in the house on a consistent basis? How does that kind of stuff get handled?
It's a very common situation, believe it or not. I won't get into details. I had a similar situation where a guy was breaking into a garage in a HOA community and basically said, this is my house now. You can try calling the police. The sheriff may remove them, may not. They'll probably tell you, oh, this is a civil matter. So if it's a civil matter,
so they break in your house and it's a civil matter. Am I hearing that right? Because again, I know if you're listening right now, you're like me, like, well, you just kick them out, call the police. If someone breaks into your home, right, that you own, now it may not be your primary residence as we're talking about, maybe you can clarify that for us. This is crazy. Someone breaks into my rental that happens to be unoccupied at the moment, and now, in order for me to get them out, I have to go to civil court?
Correct. And as you can see, I'm wearing a suit. I'm not wearing a sheriff's uniform. I don't do their job. And I always advise clients in those kind of situations with an unauthorized occupant, like in the one I did, it was a garage, storage unit, unoccupied house. Hey, call the police. They may remove them if there's vagrancy and other
what if I remove them? Am I going to get in trouble as the homeowner if I remove them?
Potentially. If they sue you, yes.
Welcome to the left coast, guys. If you're listening like me, that just frustrates me. I know it's a good job for you, right? It keeps you busy, but don't you agree that doesn't just even seem right that someone can just squat for a few days and all of a sudden I can't get them out with my own gun, with my own might, with me calling the police. I have to hire a great attorney, and you are, but to then go to court, serve them at my house that I own.
Right.
And I probably have to buy them breakfast, lunch, and dinner according to the people on the left side here. That's what drives me nuts.
Well, and they're not paying you any rent. Who knows what they're doing to your house while they're in there? Oh. Yeah, definitely. And if you lived in another state, it would be different. I've heard in Texas, it's like a 7-day turnaround process. In Arkansas,
in Texas, they let me bring my gun and get the guy out real quick.
Right.
That I know in Texas.
But here, once somebody sets up shop that, hey, this is my residence, the police are reluctant to physically remove people unless you've got,
especially with all the
activity.
Videos and stuff now that are going across the country. I mean, that's...
So in Kyle's hypo here, or for his client, definitely you're going to try that first, and maybe you'll get lucky. But if you don't, and you have to call an attorney, then you'll like this part too. It's going to be a 30-day notice. If they've been there for less than a year, it's a 30-day notice period.
Is there a minimum time?
You have to, because there's no lease agreement, so it's not like I could give them...
1 day? Is it a week? What's the minimum time of them being occupied and get squatted?
I don't know that there's a hard and fast rule about that. If they can demonstrate, hey, the cops come, I'm sleeping here, this is where I brush my teeth, this is where I lay my head, and they say it's a civil matter, then you're going to have to pick up the phone and call a guy like me.
What if they got into the house, contact SDG&E, turn the electricity on, contact the water, get the water turned on? Kyle, can they do that? Can someone do that? Do they need the owner's right, or can they just call SDG&E and say, hey, I want the thing turned on?
No problem.
Yeah. Wow. See, this is what's crazy.
And if you shut off the utilities, that's a whole nother can of worms you could get in trouble for.
Once they do squat on it, you've got to continue to provide electricity and water for
What was that Mike Keaton movie that he was the squatter in that one movie back in the late 80s?
I wasn't alive.
Yeah, you guys weren't even alive. But Michael Keaton, look that up for me, Paulie, at the break. Mike Keaton did a movie where he squatted on this 4-unit. And never paid.
That's
and
right.
He put the roaches in.
The roaches.
Right. He did all this stuff.
That.
This reminds me of that. And it just concerns me as a conservative and somebody who loves San Diego. I just don't like people to take advantage of the system. Everybody wants to be in the wagon, and no one wants to pull the wagon. Now, I know that's not people in this studio and the people not listening on the radio, because
great analogy.
We're all literally self-employed, creating jobs, creating income, doing possible things. But there is people who just want to have a free lunch and apparently free room and board because we allow it here in California.
Sure. And if you flush out the hypo, so it's a 30-day notice. So then on the 31st day, assuming they're still there, that's when you get to file your unlawful detainer case. So you got to pay your lawyer, pay the filing fee. You better make sure everything was served properly by a registered process server, because you don't want the judge second guessing you. If they don't answer, you can default them and go on that track, but it'll still be at least another 30 days till you're at the sheriff lock.
This is crazy. I know you're grinning. You've been through this, Kyle, but Who's our security and lock guy? And if we don't have one, we need to get one on the radio right away.
We've got Joel from Detroit. He's our security guy now.
Joel from Detroit.
Joel, 6'4", 250. That's our security.
And a retired Navy guy.
Yeah. Navy vet.
From Detroit. Yeah.
That is our security officer at Whissel Realty.
But what do we got for like the homes that we're purchasing? And what do you recommend so that this doesn't happen? If you're listening right now and you want to make sure that these people don't come into your home and squat, you're one of the top real estate brokers. You've owned hundreds of properties. What would you recommend, Kyle, that people do? I
mean, the biggest thing is just constantly putting eyes on the property. So in this particular case, we found out about the problem immediately, because we're checking on these properties at least twice a week when we have a vacant house. So we want to get out there and put eyes on these on a consistent basis. So if we see somebody getting into this house, we've got to do everything we can to get them out of that house so they can't demonstrate that they've established tenancy in that property, because once they establish it, you've now seen what could possibly happen. So we're checking these constantly. If there's any personal belongings in the house, we're removing them. If we can figure out where it is that they're getting access to the house, we've got to secure that. Sometimes we'll set up anti-theft systems. We'll put lights and music and
maybe we get video set up from Dave, right?
Well, that's what I was going to ask is, what if we even had alarm systems and then that was part of your rental?
It's always an option. Yeah, we're going to head to a break here on Whissel Wednesdays. When we get back, let's keep talking about this. This is good stuff, guys. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays on AM 1170, The Answer.